verdicts were. If the brigands lost Ahjvar and Gu, they would only go looking for other prey, less able to deal with them. At Gu's insistence, Ahjvar had slept the first half of the night. He had insisted in turn that Gu wake him, let him take the second watch. Gu had done so, and old great gods forgive him. Ahjvar had slept. He did not even remember lying down. He might as well be an invalid for all the use he was. His body healed. Wounds did, far more quickly than another man's might. He had only clean scars to mark his road from Sand Cove to Marikand and the Lady's Well, to the battle at the Orsamos and the burning tower at Danaz Katerna. His mind, heart, soul, whatever, was another matter. A cripple. Even waking, there were long gaps in his days, as though his mind slept or curled away small somewhere, leaving the body to manage the camel and the business of not falling. He would wake to awareness, though his eyes had never closed, and the light would be changed. The sun traveled several hours on its way. The land about them knew. Gu should have known better than to trust him. In some moods, he was strongly tempted to threaten to knock Gu around the ears for treating him as a struggling child, letting him run, there to pick him up when he found he couldn't. Even for a grumble that would not be meant or taken seriously. He wasn't going to complain of the nursemaiding, though. It was Gu who risked hurt, lying near to seize him back when the nightmares turned too foul. They might be only memories, festering unhealed wounds of the mind that he deserved to carry, not madness, no possessing ghost lurking in them. But even so, fast as Gu was, the fading bruise on his cheek was Ahjvar's doing, 2 nights old. It was the murdered shepherd who had woken the dreams again, when he'd been a week without them. He turned over, face to face, muttered on a sigh. Sorry. No atonement, and none for sleeping when he should have watched. Bar himself from dreaming? He had attempted it, briefly, a few weeks back. The nightmares had leaked foul and vicious into his waking mind, or his half-waking. The periods where he lost time and place, and self turned to horrors, and that was worse. To be mad in the daylight world. He had burnt the woven knot of herbs he had made against the nights, but the spell had been already failing, too weak to hold against the strength of the dreaming. His sins. The dreams were his just punishment and atonement to bear for them, maybe, whether on the Gold Great God's road or Gu's. He could not set them aside. Watched? Where are they? Neither dog was by them. He rose on an elbow to look. There. Pale, slinking wolf shape. Jew. Just barely visible in the thinning night. The dog came up, keeping low, lay at Gu's feet, watching the deeper darkness along the willow-lined bend of the coulee, just where a pool of water still lasted. That was where Ahjvar would have been. The rest of the slowly rising land was open of any cover but the night, grazed earlier in the summer, though no herds were near now. 4 in the trees, 2 up on the high ground, lying flat. They've been there a while. Gu sounded apologetic. You needed to sleep. That someone had been keeping watch after all made him feel no less shamed for his failure. You get downstream, keep out of it. Old habit, to make sure the boy was safe out of any killing when he went about his work in the 5 cities. But Gu was not that boy. And leave you alone? No, Ahj. After a moment, Gu added, we knew they were going to come on us sometime, once they started following. It may as well be now. These are the same who murdered the shepherd. Ahjvar had been a king's champion once, and a king's wizard too, a long lifetime ago. The king's wizards might divine truth from lie, when charges were brought for royal judgment, but those thus condemned might still appeal for the justice of the sword, a trial by combat within the circles of 9 witnesses, which was generally only to have a more honorable death than the slow hanging that was the fate of willful murderers and certain other most heinous criminals, the king's champion being the best sword of the tribe. He did wonder if Gu had gone so far as to make the 2 of them bait, if he had on his own decreed a trial by deed, to give the justice the little chieftains of this land might fear to exact from the lordless mercenaries when they traveled in gangs. He could not be certain any more what Gu might and might not.